That's the other problem with AI is that it will be confidently wrong.
It's like Thad.
Like Thad, yeah.
Thad and AI are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Like you're this wrong, but you're this confident.
Yeah.
Like, oh no,
I don't like this.
Moves around and makes you right.
All right, I don't like this.
Yeah, neither do we.
This is called online bullying right now. And
it's we are online and we're bullying. So yeah, you're right.
Do you think check are comedians, you think, using AI to write jokes? Is that a thing?
Some need to be probably.
Like, there's got to be a hack out there that's like trying to do that.
Surely they are though. Like that's the thing. I think.
Down. Ooh, I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture. Cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels. With me, as always, my partner in crime, Thaddeus J. McKee.
happy, slap.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last woke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan.
Hey there.
And a very special guest with us, first time on the podcast, the man, the myth, the legend, John Overton. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Woo!
Honored to be here.
Very excited to have you in studio. We've known each other for about, 4 or 5 years? Something like that?
It's been since Tango days. I'm trying to think how long that's been. We were talking about it earlier.
And you have been doing, you're one of those people that has your fingers in a lot of different pies.
Yep.
And
keeps me out of trouble.
It's good. It really does. Been wanting to have you on for a while, so I'm so glad you're here. Before we get started, I do want to say that theme song that you just heard, that's Sirius Black. We just saw Friday night performing at the Murat with Bless.
Man, it was so amazing.
That said, it was off the chain.
It was off the chain. Like I still get chills listening to some of the songs they played. Like I went back and I'm like, wait, what was that song? Oh, Bright Side of the Sun. Like that was their closer. I'm like, I gotta figure out how to listen to that more.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I wish I could have made it.
There's so many people there. I think there's like over 300 people we talked about. It was at the Egyptian, not the Egyptian Room.
It was downstairs. I didn't even know there was like a basement too.
Yeah, deluxe.
Yeah. That was my first.
It's a great spot.
Grew up here my whole life. Didn't
High
know
energy.
that existed.
It was like the Illuminati room.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're about to go to South by Southwest. So shout out to Bless.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Sirius Black for me. Like the whole time I was watching him on stage, I was like, he made our podcast theme. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a great guy to do it for sure.
Perfect.
Now you are a musician. I didn't know which one I wanted to start with, but that's a perfect segue into the music that you did.
Yeah. So I started off like doing my own music, and then I ended up going through a program and just learning how to engineer because I wanted to be on the other side of it. And now I primarily do podcasts, funny enough, but I'm able to do my own stuff, by myself essentially.
Yeah.
So I have more creative control over that. But
What program was this? Phoenix?
so my buddy opened a studio. Travis Cold Cut is his kind of producer name. More Open Roundtable Recording Company up in Broad Ripple.
No, it's dope.
It's a dope spot.
Cold Cuts?
Cold Cut. That is his producer name that he got back in the day.
Kind of meaty.
Right. Super meaty. But yeah, so anyway, I just went through a program there to learn how to work just the equipment and basically started doing podcasts immediately after because there was less moving parts. So it was easier to dive into podcasting and not have to know how to mic a drum set immediately and learn the software and work my way around the studio and kind of master that first. And then now I've kind of expanded into music and all that type of stuff.
So you're doing all the producing? Are you doing the back end editing and all that stuff as well?
Yep. So recording, editing, mixing, mastering,
Nice.
just chopping stuff up, adding the music in, intro, outro, all that. So
I went and did Stretch's Follow the Money podcast. You're the main producer
Yep.
of that. So of your show.
Yep.
And when I was up there, they said that the Wu-Tang had just been in there like the day before.
yeah, so they call. Well, we have good Google. I guess SEO search results, whatever the term would be. So if you come in town and you Google studios, Roundtable pops up first.
Nice.
So we get a lot of national acts that come through just based on that. I think.
That's great.
And Wu-Tang, came through. They did a section for the set at Ruoff. They were kind of tweaking it in studio that night before. So it's just cool stuff like that happens.
Did you get to meet anybody?
I was not there. I didn't even know the session was going on. So I found out about that the next day, but
I would have been so mad if I found out, hey, Wu-Tang Clan was in my studio and like no
they
one
don't call
me.
Yeah, I'm just the pod guy.
I'd be very upset. Actually, I'm kind of mad for you. Whoever that guy is, I hope he's fired.
I am upset thinking back. I wasn't in the loop.
I was excited just to be in the room. I was like, who sat in this chair? Who was it?
I mean, we've had Pooh Shiesty came through. I guess he's like popping in that space.
Who's a big guy?
I think he ended up going to jail. I think he's in jail still, but
Mr. Shiesty went to jail?
Right.
Oh, no.
But we've had some acts come through, it's been great to have,
Well, and you used to be Pooh Money, right?
I was in a rap group many lifetimes.
You did tell me
many lifetimes ago.
You did tell me you rap. That's
yeah.
He was Pooh Money.
Pooh Money. Back when we had to like nail flyers to telephone poles for
social media.
Yeah, that was social media.
Yeah.
But Pooh Shiesty worked with Justin Bieber, right?
I'm not sure if he did or not.
Let's just say yes.
Be cool if he did.
Let's just say yes. Yeah. And you used to work with Snoop Dogg's manager, is that correct?
I did, yeah. So I did, in college, I did an internship with a company called Stampede Management, and their main client was Snoop, a guy named Ted Chung. I was his kind of intern assistant, and then I went back the following summer and actually worked for them. And then...
This is out in Cali?
Yeah, out in L.A.
Nice.
And yeah, that was awesome.
Now, did you get to meet Snoop?
Yep.
Snoop Doggy Dogg?
Yep.
I feel like Snoop Dogg has become like the grandfather of America in a sense.
Definitely transcended rap for sure.
Yeah. Like he's with everybody. Like he's cooking with Martha Stewart,
Yeah. He's a household name.
Playing basketball with Bieber,
Yeah. He's positioned himself really well, and he's always constantly evolved and consumed what's new and what's current, as opposed to resisting it or talking shit about it. So
what I've found interesting is most of the people that have made a lot of money that are musicians or comedians or stuff don't make it actually for music or comedy.
Yep.
Like you can make a chunk of money, but like you're not like rich. You're not like Dr. Dre billionaire from music. Like
no, you have to diversify for sure.
Or like Rihanna. I didn't realize how rich Rihanna was until the Super Bowl.
Her makeup
line,
Yep.
It's insane.
Billion is a lot of money.
Yeah, plus record companies, don't make it easy to make money off music. So
isn't that a thing? Like they rip a lot of musicians off.
Yeah, 360 deals.
Dad just found out about that.
A lot of hands and a lot of pockets.
I'm gonna yes and that joke. Yeah.
He just found out about Motown
today. Yeah, the Detroit Motown. That's a whole nother history. But like, I don't like it. Can we put a stop to it for Indiana? You're the guy. You're the connect.
I wish I could wave my hand and make it happen, man. But I think technology and the independent scene has put a lot more power in the hands of artists, comedians,
self-releasing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way better landscape to not get fucked now than it has ever been. So.
No, I'm a self-releaser. I've done stuff for Harder Brunch, and I've self-released.
We're waiting on that Thad mixtape.
Some sounds, man. But that
we need a dyke verse though, for sure on it. We definitely need.
I'm not going to call it a dyke verse for legal reasons. Some communities have asked me to stop calling it a dyke verse, and I'm not going to say who.
Yeah. Hit him with another hot dyke drop.
Dyke drop.
Oh my God. Do you want to talk a little bit about this CBD business?
Yeah. So outside of all the engineering stuff, partner and I had always consumed cannabis, been interested in the space.
When you were in California where it was legal?
Yeah, for sure. Always. But now with so many different legal forms of THC, the lines are blurred.
Yeah, there's a lot of different legal forms.
Yeah, just, you got to jump through the hoops, But so anyway, we just wanted to start a line, and we had a link on some good manufacturing, and we just started our own brand, connected with our manufacturers. And basically we have a full CBD line. Includes gummies, topicals, pet treats. We just came out with a drink mixer, puree, which can also be used in food, and Planta Verde CBD.
Nice. Did you give some to my dog?
I gave Cody a treat. Yeah.
Nice.
Is he chilling? Is he still with it?
Yeah.
Did he ask you
He's
if
not
you could
dead
give it to
yet,
your
so
dog?
I think we're good.
He hasn't farted once yet.
He hasn't
so
farted once.
Maybe it was a CBD.
What if that's what it was?
CBD deficiency.
Maybe that's all he needed, Dyke.
My dog has a big CBD.
Did you bring some stuff with you?
Yeah, I brought some samples.
And what was the name of that company again?
Planta Verde CBD. And we also have a wellness line
Nice.
that's non-CBD related. I gave a lot.
Ooh, got a nice butter bag. Did you get that
shout
at
out
Butter?
to Butter. Yeah, I did get it at Butter. That was like one of the best events I think I've been to this year.
We weren't there.
Boycott.
Boycott.
Oh, man.
No, we're not going to boycott next year if we get invited. No, if we get invited to go, we won't boycott it. We promise.
So this is, just some samples you guys can try. We have a Delta 8, 50 milligram gummy.
I'll take that one.
That'll definitely get you buzzing. We have a mixed berry 35 milligram D9 and THCO gummy. There you go, Dyke. I'll hand that over.
Wait, what's the difference between like the D8 and then the D9?
So D9, basically the cannabis plant has, I think, 400 plus cannabinoids in the plant, all of which are kind of what they're synthesizing now to do different things with. So you have Delta 8 is just a cannabinoid. CBD is a cannabinoid. CBG is a cannabinoid. Delta 9 is the traditional cannabinoid that's in what we think of as weed that gets you high. So like that's where you run into legal issues and what people have tried to get around by coming out with D8 and all that. But you can have now, if it's derived from hemp, you can have D9 in products as long as the concentration's under 0.3% on a dry weight basis. So basically, people are just finding ways to bring, D9 back into the market. So that's what that is. And then we have a CBN, CBG gummy too. This is non-THC, non-psychoactive. Again, just two different cannabinoids. The CBN, we kind of market for sleep. It's just a really good compound for getting drowsy, kind of makes you tired and helps you relax. The CBG is more pain, anti-inflammatory. But the market's just exploding because you can synthesize all these hundreds of compounds, combine them, mix them, and then, it's just really exploded the market. So
CBGB.
Yeah, and then this was the dog treat that I gave Cody. It's human grade. You can actually eat it yourself if you want.
For dogs and humans.
For dogs and humans, if you wish. It's just banana, oats, and peanut butter and CBD. So there's 7.5 milligrams per treat, and it's just for dogs. Pain, arthritis, anxiety.
I'm looking
Fireworks display.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cody right now.
Is he zooted? Is he out?
Can't tell if he's breathing or not. But that's a good thing.
Yeah, either way, he's peaceful.
But yeah.
That's awesome. Where are these all available online? Or you guys?
Yeah, so
setting
we predominantly just sell offline. We're in some stores throughout, kind of different markets, but we're just mainly selling off our website.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Literally.
Because I remember you. I remember you go. I remember you like talking about it and seeing it online, but I didn't realize it was like this far along. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, it's we started in 2019, so we've it's just a lot of hoops to jump through when you're getting into this business. I mean, just in terms of laws, banking, merch accounts, we've lost it all multiple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still rocking. So
Red tape.
yep.
Planta Verde, and if people, what's the website or what's
PlantaVerdeCBD.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're on socials, just Planta Verde CBD.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so cool. I mean, that's really awesome.
I mean, you're doing it out here. Like, I'm a big fan of people that are entrepreneurs and then also helping people with problems because people don't understand. People really do have like sleep deficiencies or, like Charlotte Shred was helping people with seizures, children with seizures. So this is a big thing. And like, Big Pharma probably doesn't like what you're doing. But
that's kind of why we're doing it.
Yeah,
we've just
Big Pharma,
right? I mean, my dad's on so many different medications, and I've seen this kind of help him with different ailments that he has. And I mean, we all know there's better ways to treat certain things than just going straight to a pill bottle. So
right. The information's out there now.
Yeah.
Like before, like we're kind of blinded by it. We just had to go with whatever the school told us. Mm-hmm. But this is great. I did say screw Big Pharma. If you do want to sponsor us, Big Pharma,
We'll take that
Still
all
take
back.
a check.
Yeah.
I will take that back. We'll have Zach cut that out.
Yeah.
But
The power of the edit.
because they do have money, let's just be honest.
Well, we record all of these podcasts both ways. We're pro CBD while you're here, and then we'll do an anti CBD later.
As you should be.
CBD is
Yeah.
killing children, everybody.
Yeah, I
Let's
get it.
stop this right
All
now.
should be on Ritalin or Adderall.
Ritalin and Adderall is the way to go. No side effects.
Yeah.
Trust
That's how you
me.
got to do it, man. You got to walk the line.
So you came on a very fun day. You came on. It's daylight. We're a week behind, so it's daylight savings day.
Yep.
Time. I don't know what they call it.
Whatever they call it.
So we decided to do one of my favorite topics, which is time travel for you. So we did a time travel brunch, and it was really fun. It took a little bit more thinking to like come up with some of the ideas than
you guys killed it.
thank
That's
you.
why I'm wearing this hat.
I'm
Because of time travel.
get it.
We're in December a little bit.
Well, we went there for a little bit.
We
with
did
the time travel.
Yep, we did.
You guys were zigging,
We were all over the place.
zigging and zagging all over time. There was a lot of screaming coming from the kitchen.
No, it was delicious. So.
I think they liked it.
Was that you activating the time machine?
Sometimes when you activate time machines, there's a lot of screaming because it's a scary thing. You're going to a different dimension, like so.
Gotcha.
I'd appreciate if you don't make
takes
fun of me
work.
for screaming.
Yeah. No.
It takes work.
I was gonna let you do your thing. Zach, you kicked it off with the first course.
No, you had the first one.
Did I?
Yeah, you had Too Early for Flapjacks.
Oh yeah, Too Early for Flapjacks, which is based on one of my favorite movies about time, I guess, which is Groundhog Day. And have you seen the movie Groundhog Day?
I have.
Okay.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
I feel like anyone that
Classic though.
if you've seen Groundhog Day, you feel like you've seen it more than once. And if you've seen it more than once, you feel like you've seen it a million times. I read this article. It was like talking about how long they think that Bill Murray was like trapped within the time loop, and it was
11 years.
Yeah.
They talked to Harold Ramis about
Oh,
it.
is
Like
it?
there's like a director's cut where he says
Yeah.
it's 11 years worth of days.
because he was like mastering skills like ice carving and piano and stuff like that. And they like, I saw one where like somebody just added it all up, but you're saying directly from the source.
Yeah,
Harold Ramis said
yeah.
it was
We'll
11
go with
years.
that then. 11 years.
11
long-
years is a long time.
Yeah, I would be
It is.
insane.
It seems like hell.
I want to see the cut where he just got up in the morning, got a gun, and just walked around town shooting everybody.
I feel like there was at least 70 of those, or there would be in my world.
Yeah.
Real quick question: what would you learn if you had 11 years stuck in a time loop?
That's a good one.
Man, if I had 11 years stuck in a time loop, I guess I would learn how to slow down. Because maybe you get time to do everything better the next time. And so you don't have to rush. I don't know if that made any sense. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the food.
Create the perfect song.
Yeah, just I think, man, just having a better perspective of time and how to use it and what you can do with it.
Okay.
Do you think did you come out of the pandemic with any knowledge or like, because like I know for a lot of comics, so like we were like, man, if the world starts spinning again, I'm gonna do like, it was like two ways. One was like, man, this is really nice. I'm gonna slow things down, and a lot of people are like,
Yeah.
man, if I get one more shot at it, I'm gonna go full tilt.
Yeah, I think for me, like during the pandemic, I got a lot more DIY because I was just at home.
Yeah.
So the studio wasn't really going on. People weren't recording. So I just like used that time to just build my skill set with my own equipment at home and try to just get a little more self-reliant, I guess, to where when things did open back up, I was just able to do more on my own,
Nice.
But
How about you, Dyke? I want to know what you would do.
With the probably like learn a bunch of languages for sure.
Oh, nice.
I think that's something I
what
always
would be your first one?
French. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Talk to Yusuf.
French and Spanish. My grandma was from France, and I took 2 years of it in high school, but nothing stuck.
Yeah, it never does.
And-
Like you learn it to memorize it. And
Yeah, I would probably probably French and Spanish for sure, and then maybe like one of the harder languages. I think it would be cool to like know like 5 different languages,
Oh, for sure.
but I also don't have the wherewithal to sit down and learn 5 different languages.
Duolingo, that's a great app.
Shout out to Yusuf. He knows 6.
Oh wow.
Crazy.
Zach, what would you do?
I would pick one person, learn everything about them, and spend all my time trolling them.
Yeah.
Like I'd be their little like demon or god or deity or whatever. They'd wonder what they did to like bring my, judgment on them. And it would just be some schmo.
Nice. I learned how to read.
You learned how to read during the pandemic?
No, if
Just
I was
read
in
in
11
general?
year
Oh, I got
time
you.
loop.
Yeah.
I'd like to read.
Yeah.
No, this is going to sound a little dark. Hopefully, and not too dark. I'd find my enemies and just figure out how to torture them. Kind of same lines as yours.
Do you think
You're
there's
after
a
you.
proximity? Like, do you think you could get outside of the city? Like, they couldn't even leave because there was like the roads were closed, weren't they?
Yeah.
But do you think you could walk away? Like, do you think there was another physical like time barrier
No.
that they were stuck in?
No, I think it was just the weather. I think it was also a plot device to keep them
Keep them there.
in this. Yeah. Because otherwise, there's been other like time loop movies where they do just like drive as far as they can and then they just wake up back in the same place.
I want to change mine from torture to learn how to cook better.
More productive.
Smite my enemies, learn how to bake a cake.
The usual.
Sorry, real quick. Like people ask me, like, "What is your heaven like?" And I always answer like the darkest way. Like, I want to just be able to torture my bully in heaven. That's my heaven. But never mind. Anyways, next course.
So within that theme of Groundhog Day, I took it from the diner scene where he's just kind of realizing that he has no consequences, and he's just ordering everything on the menu and eating it. And Annie McDowell, is that who that is? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just sitting there just like disgusted by him. And he's just like, I just really like, I was like pausing the movie to see what all was on there.
What's
and
on
he's
the
like,
plate?
yeah, he's got like pancakes. He's got bacon. He has a full like bacon, egg, sausage thing. But then he's got all these different kinds of donuts, full pot of coffee. He's smoking a cigarette inside the diner. And I was just like, man, I want to put as much of this stuff on one plate.
Wait, back then they were allowed to smoke in diners, weren't they?
Yeah, but he's just like, he's got a mouthful of food and he's like drinking coffee out of the pot and smoking a cigarette.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like he's just going full glutton with it. So I want to incorporate as much of that into it, and plus I just like putting cookie butter and bacon on things.
So good.
So good.
That cookie butter was, whew.
It feels decadent. It just feels like I shouldn't be eating all this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get mad when I have their food because like I've never tasted anything this good and I've been missing out this long. Yeah, it was amazing.
Zach, what'd you
Well
have?
For the next course, I did Terminator 2, and I did the last scene. I called it Thumbs Up, where he's being sunk into the molten, whatever that is, iron melting thing. I did a buffalo chicken dip, and then I did fried chicken feet, but I manufactured one of the chicken feet to look like a thumbs up, and then lit it on fire in dramatic fashion at the table.
That was really cool.
Sick.
First time
Very
ever having
dramatic.
chicken
It's
feet.
awesome.
That was also the most elaborate buffalo chicken dip I've ever had. Like that's Guinness Book of World Records over the top.
Yeah.
I had never had a chicken's foot either.
First time?
Yeah, first time.
First timers club.
I was
I
glad that-
never had a crispy one. I've had them kind of like almost like soggy.
Is that
kinda
normally
like
how they are, Di?
gelatin and like yeah.
Well, I
Ooh.
mean, most of you guys have had chicken feet dozens of times. It's just always in the stock. Not like as the whole thing, because I always use them in my stock. But yeah, I mean, usually you see them as like either the soggy, like sauced and soggy or whatever.
Yeah, I never had them crispy like that.
Wait, time out. You've been giving us chicken feet for a while?
Well, I use it when I make stock for soup.
Don't you have to ask for consent before you give people chicken feet?
I thought this was not a consent-based podcast. That's what you two said.
Zach, do you want to answer that? You want to take that one?
I feel like Zach has Munchausen syndrome. He's been slowly poisoning us with chicken foots. No, it was great. And we're gonna have to play back that video of it because the other thing is too is like Zach had a bowl of different of like chicken feet and different like trying to make a chicken foot have a thumbs up. Like he had all these strings.
I made like 6 or 7 of them and picked the best one.
It was a fist, right? That was
Yeah,
the
I
final
mean,
form?
like, yeah. You had to like trim the knuckles and stuff because like all the fingers are different lengths. They're not like people.
Chicken digits.
My favorite thing is when he was like setting it up in front of everybody, you know, and we have like, you know, like a fancy French chef sitting there, and then that chain just went into the dip. This is amazing.
But that's what's supposed to.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's the chain that he's holding on to, and then the other hand, yeah, it definitely didn't look. Yeah, it looked like it wasn't supposed to be happening like that.
Yeah.
It looked like everything was failing right in front of everyone.
I don't know. There's like there's a chain sticking out of it that's on fire.
It's on fire.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, we love setting stuff on fire around here.
Yeah, it's kind of my new go-to.
And then the Back to the Future, hydrate level 4. Man, this was something like as a kid, one of my favorite movies. Back to the Future, I think is my all-time favorite movie.
Yeah.
2 came out when I was like 10. 2 came out in December, and then 3 came out in May on my birthday. And I hadn't seen 2, and for my 10th birthday, my mom picked me up, and we went and saw. They played 1, 2, and then 3 like the day before 3 came out.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was great. So in the movie, which is supposed to take place in the future of 2015, you know, they have flying cars and they have food rehydrators. So it's like they had a deal with Pizza Hut at the time too, where like you could get all the cool glasses. Like you go to Pizza Hut and you get all like kind of glasses like you're wearing, but they're all like futuristic. And then in the movie, they had this dehydrated pizza that came and it was like this big. And then you put it in the dehydrator for like 2 seconds and it pops out and it's a whole ass pizza. And I don't know that image, and I don't know why, but it was like half green pepper and half pepperoni. It just always like stuck out in my mind or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really wanted to do a take on that. And I was like, I don't have any idea how to like rehydrate a pizza like in real life. Like, I mean, I guess I could have just made some, like, it would have just been slop, right? Like, it would have just been weird. But I did the next best thing. It was I made an entire pizza, dehydrated it. So it was like one level was just like crust, sauce, cheese, pepperoni, green pepper, and then dehydrated the whole thing. And then put that in a food processor. And then that wasn't small enough. So I took the stuff out of the food processor and put it in my spice grinder. And just made it to a fine. I felt like I was making
Pizza
drugs.
Keef.
Yeah, it was Pizza Keef for sure. I was like, I feel like
I'd go to that restaurant.
yeah, Pizza Keef.
I definitely would.
Be onto something with that.
Yeah,
Pizza Keef.
yeah. I was like, I like hand roll my own cigarettes and I cut them with little Pizza Keef.
We're gonna be rolling up pizza later, man.
What's in this? That's Pizza Keef. I didn't know you like to get wet.
Rolled me up a pizza spliff.
Or the opposite of wet because it's dehydrated.
I didn't like you like to get
I
dry.
didn't know you like to get dry. That was really good. A lot of people took like big pieces. Like we're already 3 courses in, and I was getting scared for everybody. I was like, "Don't take that much pizza."
I could have taken less.
Spoiler: also in the new Ant-Man, don't they dehydrate a pizza as well?
What?
In the new Ant-Man,
I don't think so.
he hydrates a pizza.
I'll take your word for it. I don't.
You saw it.
You're not giving me any wiggle room. Yes.
Anyways,
Yes, he did.
I didn't know if that was like a callback to Back to the Future. If you're watching this, just message us and let us know. Anyways, let's go forward.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was seasoned with the remnants of another pizza.
Seasoned with pizza.
Also, the most expensive pizza I've ever made because it was the price of 2 pizzas to make.
2 for 1.
I was like dehydrated all this, and I was like,
Did you make the dough and everything for the?
no.
Or you bought a frozen pizza?
I specifically did it with in mind. I wanted everything in low moisture, so I didn't want to make a dough that had a bunch of moisture in it. So I just got like a thin crust. So there's a cracker, and I didn't use the whole thing because I wanted I wanted it to be very pizza flavored. So there was
not a lot of the extra crust.
Yeah. But it was fun, and that's part of the fun of this show is making something that for no reason would I ever make that in real life.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even make sense. But it was fun for the show, and I was just like, as I was making it, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like,
Permission to get crazy.
yeah, permission to do some weird stuff.
Worked out.
Zach, you had the next dish.
So I did. I had everything everywhere all at once. So I did an everything everywhere all at once bagel. With this one, I tried to smash as many concepts into it as I could. So it was an everything bagel with dill dill cream cheese smear. There was cured salmon, and then it was also a Benedict with seared salmon and avocado, and then I had a truffled Oscar Styles hollandaise, which is hollandaise with crab and asparagus in it.
Benedict damn near broke it.
That poached egg. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, that was a favorite for me. It was really good.
I feel like Zach always kills any version of lox, any version of salmon and bagel together.
Well,
and that was the best one.
I usually have cured salmon just chilling at my house that I made or whatever.
Just ready.
Yeah.
This was 2 kinds of salmon.
Yeah, 2 kinds of salmon, double salmon.
Do you smoke your own salmon?
Only when I can find papers big enough.
Hey, can you give yourself a blue button for that? That was
Or I think that was an applause. Maybe both at the same time.
Come on, you guys are soft.
And then the final course, or my last course, was from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was called Breakfast at Millie Ways, which is the restaurant at the end of the universe. And they have this cow that's genetically bred that like is sentient, and it comes out and it tells you like, hey, you should have try some of my rump. It's really good. But my take on it was to try to make it like futuristic, was a sous vide chuck roast, and then with just pan sauce, and then it was steak and egg, so the egg was just cured egg kind of shaved over the top of it.
Delicious.
Now you said that was your favorite, correct?
Yeah, the steak and probably the bagel, but steak was good.
It was so flavorful. I don't know.
Those 2 items for me were 1 and 2, or 2 and 1, whatever you want.
I mean, just the pan sauce from it, and like for being a rump roast, I know you sous vide it, but I mean, it was very good.
I don't know that I've ever known that I've been eating sous vide steak. Rump.
Really?
Yeah, so like that was a different way of having it for me, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was it's sous vide and then reverse seared. So you slow cook it overnight basically, and then just sear it right before you serve
like in a
it.
pan, like pan sear it. Yeah.
That was fun. We have over the course of doing the show, we've actually cut back on the amount of courses that we make, because there was a point where people would just be mad by the end of the, like you would burn through all the goodwill, and then people were like, here's another course. And they'd be like, no,
Yeah.
no more.
There's a lot of screaming.
So we had cut back down, but man, we really ramped it back up, and we didn't tell Thad like, hey, there's going to be more food than usual this week.
I feel like it snuck up on all of us.
There's more food. There's more people. We had 6 courses today.
Yeah.
Is that like comparable to old brunches?
That's old school. That's like year 1.
There's been some 7 or 8.
We've had some bigger ones, but like, yeah, we've got it down to like, I think 4 usually, like 4, like really like with the appropriate amount of food too.
Yeah. Once you get past 7 or 8 courses, what are you doing?
Right.
It's just sin.
Time for a nap.
It's just sin at that point. You just gluttony. You're just eating
good,
too much.
though.
People are throwing up.
Did you have a description of chef's dessert?
Yeah, we have a description of chef's dessert. Zach's got it right there on his computer. He's pulled up.
So Chef Yusuf was, kind enough to join us today. He brought the dessert. He had and this is really not going to do it justice, but a hazelnut and chestnut cake. There was a hazelnut crunch, a chestnut filling, as well as a dark chocolate mousse on there. And the decoration on the outside of that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a detailed, like cake cover. I was like, oh, that's a really cool, like cake cover he's got.
That was
there.
a cake suitcase.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have those.
Chef Yusuf is becoming one of my favorite chefs to follow just online. If you like to see gorgeous food pics, obviously go to Harder Brunch. And then after you click subscribe to all of our channels, go to Chef Yusuf and look at his stuff, because it's pretty cool as well.
Pretty
good. Studied in France, and he's just making good stuff. So he's a really fun guest to have.
Yeah, and then check out our Patreon at, harderbrunch.com.
Yeah, but before you go to Yusuf's page, go to the Patreon. It's only $3.
I just subscribe.
Then you go to Yusuf's page.
But before you do that, go to harderbrunch.com and check out our merch.
Yeah, go to sorry. Before you go to that Yusuf's page, go check out our merch. It's really good.
That's some shirts today.
We're doing the sizes. We got some beautiful pictures that we're going to put on our shirts. And then go check out Yusuf's page. It's pretty cool.
And then go to Planta Verde.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, you're on us.
You can put me at the bottom of the list. It's okay.
Go to this, then you switch. Then you go.
Let's take a quick commercial break. After this already commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
Yeah, would you replace ripping hearts out with school shootings?
Is it like the same amount?
Same amount of deaths.
So like a kid goes,
We had another heart ripped out today at Sunnyside Elementary School. 17 children had their hearts ripped out.
I'm going to say the heart ripping out because I feel like if it's that like brutal,
You're just scared of everybody.
but I think they would solve it a lot faster.
I think if it was that brutal, they would put strict guns policies in place.
I think the only way to stop a bad guy from ripping out your heart is a good guy that rips out your heart.
People don't rip out.
The resource officers have to go to heart rip training.
People don't rip out hearts. Hands do.
Yeah. We need to train all of our teachers how to rip out hearts. Someone's got to protect these kids.
Join us at patreon.com/harderbrunch.
Hi, and welcome back to the show. We're here talking with John Overton.
Hey.
What was this Rapture? When I found it, I lost it.
Oh, Popular Rapture?
Popular Rapture.
So that's just my audio engineering company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so technically I freelance. I do host a lot of podcasts out of Roundtable, but that's just kind of my own thing.
What does Popular Rapture mean?
So Rapture is just like popular enthusiasm. Well, I said popular shit. Rapture itself is just enthusiasm, like shared enthusiasm, chaos of the time. So Popular Rapture to me was kind of like a spin on pop culture, and it's people talking because primarily I do podcasts. So like what people are enthusiastic about, what they're talking about, just popular conversation of the time.
Yeah.
So, and it just sounded cool, so I just went with it.
And do you feel more comfortable behind the scenes usually than like this, like in front of
for
the
sure,
scenes?
yeah.
Even though you're doing a great job right now.
Right on. But yeah, no, I definitely feel it depends. Like I used to rap like back in the day, like I would go do shows.
Didn't
like,
we all?
Yeah, right. You know, and so I would like perform, you know, I would go to Birdies and Melody Inn and like do sets,
Birdies.
you know, like
I did. Those are the two places I performed at.
you know what I mean? Like they let us in, you know, so I was like, I've done that, but it's been really cool. I think on this chapter of my journey in this creative space to like, to be behind the scenes, to help people facilitate their creative visions. And it's just so cool to be involved with so many different people's whatever they have going on with
that was one thing.
Their dreams, essentially.
I wanted to like one thing I noticed when you were because you were at the Women's March.
Yep.
And you were recording for a podcast. Yep. And it was just interesting because I saw the picture and I was like, oh, there's John at the Women's March. Like,
yeah, the abortion rally. Yeah, I just had a little Zoom recorder and we were just getting audio and interviews for a podcast of mine, Jen Watts of Change podcast. But I would have never ended up in that space, you know, had I not just leaped into this side of it. So it's
what was
cool.
that like?
It was, I mean, what you think it would be like, probably just chaotic, a lot of emotion on both sides. And for me, it was just super cool to be there capturing that because you're just on the front lines of something that's very current and happening right then in the city. And it's way different than a studio setting. It's way different, you know, being out in the field. So it was a blast. I would love to do it again. And I was super stoked. Like I joked to my producer, owner at the studio, who also teaches the courses. Like, I wish I could have used that episode as my final project because I was just proud of how it came out. So, yeah.
I love that. And can I ask you, what was your rap name? Let's go back to
it. It was
real
just
quick.
John Overton. I've always just, everything I've ever done, I've just kept my
Real
my
name.
name because I just do it as myself. I feel like
I
never
still like
wanted
John
to have
Million.
Yeah, John Million. We might have to
John,
swap it out. Yeah,
or
we
you
just came up with that upstairs.
Or you could just be J.O.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm about to J.O. What's up?
That's easy. J.O. There's a lot more shit that rhymes with J.O. than John Overton.
But you would really go with J.O.? Are you sure about that?
I mean, pressure's on now. I don't know, man.
That's good.
I like John Million though. I think
John Million is the best name I've heard in a long time.
I think there's something there.
Yeah.
Dad.
What if you like
I think you might have coined that.
It's J.O. time, yo.
Yeah.
No, that's the opposite. It doesn't sound cool at all.
It seems aggressive.
Yeah.
Seems.
Y'all ready for J.O.?
Nope. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
It might work.
When you were rapping, were you rapping like with like an ensemble or was it by yourself?
Just me.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, oh, go ahead.
No. I was just curious if it was anger rap or.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, there was definitely some of that. I mean, I've always said to this day, like, making music for me is my therapy. Like, that's like what I did. I was the only child, so like I would just stew by myself with emotions like all the time. And I just like started writing them down in notebooks and writing raps, And like to this day, I still make music. Like I still probably will be putting music out. It's not like my main focus, but it still is very much where I kind of release my demons and internal whatever angst, It's my creative outlet.
How has your music evolved over the past few years?
I mean, I've gotten a lot more experimental now because of being on this side of it. I understand what can be done like in editing and mixing. And obviously, there's people singing that can't sing. I'm one of them, to a degree, but I've just gotten a lot more experimental with what I'm willing to try on a record with vocally.
Yeah.
I just like don't care anymore what people think, what people have to say. I'm just, there to push my own limits and be vulnerable. And I think like as any creative, the more willing, the more willing you are to get vulnerable, just the better your shit's going to be. And the more you're going to push your own boundaries, so.
Yeah. You strike me as a very thoughtful person, like meaning that like, it seems like you've done a lot of self-reflection in the past few years, and you seem like a person that's like prioritized like self-care and evolving, which is good to see. Some people don't at all.
Yeah, I think like for me, I'm an introverted person, so I'm just like very sensitive, I think, to different environments and energies and all that shit. So for me, it's like I do have to take time and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to keep my energy a certain way, or I'm just going to be shit in the real world, So
I think, and a lot of that is who you collaborate with. What do they say? Like you are the 5 people that you hang out with the most, or something like that. Which means I'm part Zach, which is very disturbing to me.
Boss. You're mostly me by now. You're like mostly me and Thad, and then a little bit of you's left, but we'll get rid of it eventually.
We're working on it.
Nah, but there's a lot of truth to that,
Yeah.
I mean, and you just got to be around people that you can be comfortable being yourself around,
That's why I get happy when I see you and Stretch pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm in the right place.
That's big bro, man.
They're here already.
Yeah.
How did you guys get? Stretch, obviously friend of the show, Meat Cake Judge.
Yes. Shout out to Stretch, follow D Money Podcast. I've known Stretch for, we always try to figure out the exact amount of years, 15, 16 years, something like that, something crazy. We worked together at Menards, like back then, met. I was in plumbing. He was in floor coverings, and the departments were right next to each other. So we would always just see each other every day, shoot the shit, built kind of a coworker rapport. That was a tight knit group there at that. You know how some jobs are just more tight knit than other, like Tango was one of those places, Yeah,
usually the worse the job, the tighter the friendship.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So like, it was just that type of vibe. And then, we always kind of stayed in touch. We didn't always talk every day, but then I saw him make a post, on Facebook, kind of flirting with the idea of doing a podcast. And I had just went through school at Roundtable. So I hit him up right away. I was like, let's do this. Like, we got to do it, come through the studio. And then the rest was just everything you've seen with Follow D Money. And we've just built it from there, but it's really been a blast, man. Like Stretch is a big brother to me, and I've learned a lot being around him, I think. And he'd probably say vice versa, but the Follow D Money podcast will always hold a special place in my heart, man. We've done so much cool shit with it.
And you're the main executive producer on that?
Yeah. So I pretty much handle all audio, all of it. Yeah, record it, Roundtable.
That was a very fun podcast. 1, you guys gave me bourbon when I got there, so that's always nice.
Some of that. Yeah.
And 2, I think just being in that dope ass recording studio is like, oh man, this is a professional ass situation we got going on here.
Yeah.
And then 2, just being all homies in the room, I was like, this is like the best possible podcast. Like outside of my own house, this is the next best possible. And I think it was really fun.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like you said, like being homies in the room, and that's how you guys operate. Like you're bringing in people that you already kind of have a friendship, connection, bond with, or you're making new friendships on the spot. And I think that just makes for better content and just better vibes. So that's kind of what we try to create. And you guys obviously do the same here, so it's fun.
I can't imagine, and I don't know if this comes with like a certain level of success. I hope not, but I can't imagine a situation of like someone else booking our guests and then just like having to deal with like, you know, like trying to make the best out of a situation of just like, who's this person again? And like, I mean, I guess because I always book the guests, so sometimes they have to deal with that. Sometimes for me, but like just like on a TV show or something, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, this person's promoting their movie,
right?
And then just trying to like figure it out. I'm just like you said, everyone that comes on here is either a friend or someone that like I'd like to get to know better. Yeah. I like what they're doing.
And it just strengthens, you know, that network of people, that community of people. You know, you guys are building a community with Harder Brunch, you know, and introducing people to people they wouldn't have otherwise met. And everybody wins, man.
I think that's one of my favorite things about podcasting and existing in the event space is like being in orbit of people like you, people like Stretch, people like Heather Brogdon, people, you know, like all these people that are like doing things locally that love collaboration. And then we're just creating these like new thing on top of a new thing. And then like, okay, well, let's use your CD product, like a CBD product. Let's use, you know, figure out a way to get your music in there. Yeah. Like let's use all these things. And you're a guy that's doing a lot. You're doing everything right now. Yeah,
I'm just seeing what sticks, you know, at the end of the day. It just keeps me engaged in life, you know.
What do you like to do for fun outside of this?
Lay on my couch and do nothing and just not answer my phone.
Yeah, are you a movie guy? Are you a TV show guy? Video game? Music?
I love stand-up comedy. I do watch a lot of comedy. I watch racing. That's probably the nerdiest thing I get shit for.
What kind of racing?
All of it, man. IndyCar.
Really?
Yeah, NASCAR. Do you say horses?
Yeah, horses.
Not horses.
Dog?
No, not dogs.
Human races?
Automobile.
Like track?
Motorsport.
Motors.
Yeah, mainly motorsport. Outside of that, just music, going to shows, you know? So...
did you ever have dreams of like, did you have like a go-kart as a kid?
No, but my dad and my uncle were big into go-kart racing and it was just kind of in my family.
I feel like go-karts are the gateway drug to... Yeah,
they are. I mean, that's the entry level.
You think a lot of people that grew up in Indianapolis had go-karts?
I feel like there was one on every block. Like every neighborhood had like one person that had like a go-kart.
I see.
Yeah, no, that tracks.
Or a moped.
Yeah. Or the moped.
Yeah.
Well, you grew up around Speedway.
Yeah.
So that might have been more.
I grew up in Speedway, so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I was like 5 houses down or something like that. Yeah,
so
but yeah, you could hear the track from my house, and then this is my grandparents lived, and then my mom, we actually moved closer to the track where like people would like park in front of our house and like walk to the track.
It's a good hustle if you can charge for parking.
Yeah, being from the west side, the Indy 500 was just the day that traffic's fucked up. Yeah. You know, it's like you have to figure out where you're going to be at certain times because you just can't leave.
Yeah.
And I tried Ubering during the Indy 500 and I was like, I'm going to make a lot of money. And then I was stuck in traffic for an hour and a half. And the guy's like, he's like, are you here yet? I'm coming. I'm on my way. Don't cancel.
Got the worst review ever.
Yeah, it was terrible. I think I made $100.
Man.
Got one trip. Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched the race. I think I went to Carb Day as a kid, and I remember one year my mom, we sold newspapers inside the track. Like it was some weird like side hustle she was trying to do.
Newspapers?
Yeah, like we went, like literally we
Speedway Times.
We we got up at the crack of the dawn, and then she bought like 20 newspapers or whatever it was, prepaid for them, and they were like special race day papers, and then we just stood inside the doors and tried to like and I know we didn't sell all those papers. I'm pretty sure it was a net loss for the day. We never did it again after that.
That's business.
Oh man, that's crazy. I'm sorry to interrupt. Interrupt on beer. This beer is really good. It's called CV. Some people don't drink, but if you do drink, you should get CV. It's a nice light beer. Goes down the throat very nicely and into the stomach like it should.
Some people call it Upland Brewing, and they call it Champagne Velvet as well. Also known as street names.
They usually don't use down the throat in radio copy, but whatever.
I mean, they do now.
Yeah, no, it does go down the throat.
Cold beer hits the throat just right.
Do you boof your beer? What's going on?
I'd boof it before I'd put it down the throat.
That's disgusting. And you're going to need to cut that out. I take this sponsorship very seriously. So if you want something smooth going down your throat, that's alcohol.
Yep.
Get that CV.
Steer into the skid.
Drink CV or you're not cool. I saw you tinkering around with your phone. Tinkering.
No, we're not doing that. We need a break between the two.
What's that?
This is a shit sandwich service. What the heck? You're not gonna botch two plugs together like that.
I was just saying,
skewer.
I'll just say this looks like a house of tinkering.
You just needed the NC.
Oh, I see what you're going for there.
Yeah. Tinker coffee. It also goes down your throat.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that.
If you're having a throat day, you would have put a lot of things down
your
there.
throat.
Something hot.
Hey, Harder Brunch has you covered.
We do.
There's no way they listen to these because I think we would have lost it by now.
Well, they do. I've actually gotten a couple of calls. Thank you very much.
Asking us to stop.
They're called cease and desist.
Yeah. I've got a lot of letters. But it's so good, I'm not going to stop promoting.
They say no. Any press is good press.
Any press is, all news is good news, is what I say.
If you didn't win controversy, you shouldn't have hired the kid.
And we could do, I mean, if you decide to give us money, we could do one. I'll give you a little.
Hey, these gummies.
Dog treats. Dogs need to get high as well.
There you go. That's non-psychoactive.
All dogs go to heaven with CBD.
Ooh, I like
that
all
one.
dogs go to heaven. You're
There
on
you
to
Are you
something
saying
there.
that kind of implies that the dog's going to die?
True. Didn't think of that angle.
Well, if they're going to die, give them this. And this is a straight ticket to heaven. You don't want your dog to go to hell.
That's a security deposit right there.
That's a security deposit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that one turned out better than the other two.
Hey, we'll take
And
it,
that one
Dad.
was
We're going to
pro
send you
bono.
that check.
Dog communion. Are you not going to church and you want to do communion with your love furry one?
Does your dog need something cool down its throat?
Put a gummy in their tummy.
Well, we only do throat-based plugs now.
Or throat-based podcast. We talk
We're
with our
talking
throat.
our throat.
We eat with our throat.
Throat does a lot.
Throat baby.
It's an underrated pathway, man.
Throats?
Yeah.
Underrated pathway?
What's the most?
It's the only pathway, I would say.
There you go.
The throat.
Yeah. Throat coat.
I gotta say, I didn't like the throat stuff at first, but now I'm fully on board.
We're trying to make it work. We're trying hard.
Yeah, at first I
That's
was like,
killing
this
it.
is stupid and ridiculous.
But
Now we're getting somewhere.
That was good content.
That's why my teachers call me a genius sarcastically.
What are you excited for this summer?
Man, this summer, the weather on a day like today, really just everything that happens in the summer, people getting out, events are easier to get around to. I want to go to some national parks this summer. I want to get out and do some stuff like that. Just vibing, man, really.
You got any big projects you're working on?
Nothing too crazy. We'll be doing some event stuff with D Money, the D Money podcast. There'll be some more events coming down the pipeline. A couple other clients of mine are coming back in season. They'll be releasing new episodes. Yeah, really just whatever comes up, you know.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
The summer camp.
Kind of an uneventful answer, but just ready for it to be summer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't believe how quickly it's already like spring. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, winter was nothing. you know? Thank God.
I feel like as we don't have like super cold winters anymore. You know, I remember like the polar vortex winter, like that felt like 5 winters.
Yeah, that was too much.
I actually get really sick of you older people saying, I can't believe how fast the spring came. It's the same amount of time each year.
But does it feel that way though?
I would say pay attention, guys. Because the older you get, the same amount of time it stays.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, not untrue.
I'm not making fun of old people. I don't want that to be a thing. But like, I think the older people are like, oh, man, can you believe it's already winter?
It's weird how the cliches just ring true when you get.
Yeah, I know time feels like it goes fast, but it really doesn't.
Yeah. What about you guys? What are you excited
Time
for
travel.
in the summer? What's Harder Brunch up to that you can say, if anything?
Can we say?
We have a bunch of events planned. Our next big event is going to be at Smoking Goose.
Okay.
We're doing a pop-up with Milkman's Daughter and Smoking Goose on Earth Day, which is what
April
22nd of April.
April 22nd.
Coming up.
I'm
fast.
doing it for 420.
All right, you'll be 2 days late.
Yeah, I'm doing a 420 brunch while you're there doing a birthday brunch.
Zach's gonna be doing a different thing.
It's a personal
What
thing.
does that mean? What are you going to be doing?
I don't know.
420 in around.
Yeah. Well, it is a smoked brunch. That is the theme.
Yeah.
Because they're a Smoking Goose.
Okay. Is there anything we're doing during the summer of note?
We're going to be doing lots of events this summer that we'll be announcing later
Coming
this year.
soon,
Coming
yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't jump the gun, y'all.
Yeah. It's a good thing to not let people know about things as long as you can.
Just hold on.
Just hold on to it.
We're planning
Keep it
a
a
lot.
secret. Keep it a secret. And that way you drive the value up.
Yeah.
Because if everybody knows about it, then what the fuck are you doing?
Tune in next time for another
Yeah.
cryptic clue.
You get one per episode. Just a little nugget.
Yeah. You get your decoder ring, you send it in.
And then you collect it.
If you could figure it out before I say it,
Yeah.
Maybe you know then.
yeah.
So we're just gonna
You might be able to come.
we're just gonna camp out on that idea.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Camp out on that summer idea.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
That you did put a picture that was kind of cryptic on Harder Brunch. It was a beautiful picture of like it looked like a Nintendo game and someone looking at a giant burger in the sky.
Oh yeah, Zach's been doing a lot with the AI art. Have you been playing around with that at all?
My buddy Rambo just put me on an app that does it. So I'm kind of starting to like,
Rambo?
Rambo Hustle. Angelo Martinez. He's a
Yeah, you gotta get
photographer.
that John Million.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta
like, with
get him-
names like that
Yeah,
running around,
yeah.
like, you got
John
Rambos.
Million and Rambo.
Can't.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I was playing around with an app, just typing in random shit, seeing if it would draw something cool.
I made a joke about because you said you weren't a huge fan of beets, and Zach was like, "Hey, is there any other?" You know, we always ask, "Is there food allergies or whatever?" And I said, "Yeah, no beets, no." And so if you're doing a Terminator 2 with beets, don't do it. And then like a minute and a half later, he sends me back this AI art, and it's like the Terminator with like beets growing out of his head, and he's got like
insane.
instead of blood splatter, it's like beet splatter, and I was just like. That is scary how quickly you generated that.
It's nuts. I typed in like Kermit in the studio and it was like perfect. It was just him at a mixing board. It's wild.
For our listeners, is there a specific AI that you want to use for pictures? Because right now I've been using Bizarre Art, and I feel like you're getting some pictures that are great, and somehow
Zach, you pay for yours, right?
So yeah, I'm paying for Midjourney, which is really good for like it's some of the more creative ones, but like if you're gonna do photos, I think it kind of depends because I don't know. This is a boring conversation for right now.
No, I like it.
But if you wanted to get like photo, like especially like of yourself, right? Then you would want to like use Stable Diffusion and train it against a bunch of photos of yourself in order to kind of get a better like photorealistic effect where you didn't have extra shit growing out of you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for
I
that.
got one called Imagine.
Oh, you got Imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't pay for it, they just throw ads at you. It's so annoying.
Too many ads.
Too many. I feel like apps are getting really aggressive with the ads if you don't pay.
It's only $50 a month.
Yeah, you know.
Just
Only-
pay it.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is I'm like half scared and half excited to see what comes out because I feel like the first everyone's knee jerk reaction is like, you know, AI is gonna turn against us and you know there's gonna be an uprising, but already you can see like all the cool new like art forms and stuff like people are doing like some interesting stuff with it. I've seen it used like for like promotion and stuff like that. Like I think it's gonna enter like kind of all walks of life. Like I think it's gonna enter the music space, the art space
For sure.
Like I'm hopefully cautiously optimistic, I guess would be a good word for it.
I mean, it's just like most things. It's going to be in the hands of whoever's using it, you know, in terms of what it's going to do. There's definitely AI mixing in the music world now and mastering.
What?
Yeah, like you can plug in records to mix audio, master it.
Well, I mean,
crazy.
think about it. Like we've had elements of this for a while.
Sure.
Like when you're taking a photo, you cut out the background to superimpose it. I mean, like that's a small AI. that is using edge detection and figuring out, because you don't have to do anything, right?
Right.
You just push a button and it figures it out for you.
Okay.
And so, I mean, there's all sorts. I mean, like when, you know, like even like using this mixing software, there's things where you can like have an auto de-esser where it, you know, you kind of tell it basically the idea and then it goes through and fixes stuff for you.
Zach, you're the auto de-esser of this show.
You're a piece of shit.
Well, as a chef, for this is for all the chefs, when there becomes AI cooking, you kind of just type in what you want, and
It'd be like a 3D printer.
Yeah.
it'd be like a
Yeah.
3D.
Like Star Trek.
Is that going to offend you?
No. So I have a different perspective. So I've been learning a lot about the AI, and there's a big rift or big discussion in the art community because, I mean, this has the potential to displace lots of artists.
For sure.
And I mean, there's some questions about like, how fair is it that, you know, it was trained on all these images that were, you know, out in the internet and without permission and stuff. But like as a chef, I've never been able to copyright recipes. Like, I mean, we've talked about this. Like if I'm coming up with a dish for the show, I'll go online, look at all recipes and, you know, scroll through their story and all the nonsense, but I never credit them. Like, you know, like joke stealing's a big deal in the, you know, the comedy, you know, and I feel like stealing a beat or stealing somebody's lyrics, but like nobody owns food in the same way. We don't conceptualize it as that. So, I mean, to answer your question, when machines can do my job, they can. It's called McDonald's. You know, it's called freezer dinners. It's, you know, there's plenty of that stuff. And it'll get eventually really good. It'll eventually get to where you can get a 5-star quality dinner from a machine that maybe came up with the creative concept as well. I mean, it seems to me, watching what this stuff has been able to do, that there's nothing precious about what we do that can't be replicated. That goes from your stand-up to your music to my food. But people will always, I mean, the availability of cheap food quickly made has not displaced me yet.
Right.
You know, I mean, that can already happen, but you know.
I feel like cyborgism is the answer, and I think that's the future because you need human interaction for the emotion and then team up with the AI.
Yep.
If it's just all, like, you can't do an AI harder brunch. That wouldn't make sense.
I want to see Zach go against a robot, like a brunch bot. You know, like you're like John Henry, you know, and you're trying to.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Make the brunch out faster than the robot.
Yeah,
That's an event right there.
Yep.
I would love that.
Outcook the. We should like generate a recipe for like a menu that you make that the AI makes up for you, and then we'll do one that I make.
Oh my god!
I had the AI generate me some meat cake ideas, and like they were wild because I would say, "Hey, make me a meat cake." With 3 different layers, and each layer is different than the one before it. So it would have some good ideas, but it didn't know how to put them all together. So it'd be like, make a meatloaf, and then add a sushi cake on top of it, and then roast beef on top of that. I was like, that's horrendous.
That's that human element that it's missing, you know, to glue it all together.
It's like, technically your answer's right, but that's gross.
Not right.
That's disgusting.
And then one day we'll do an AI off with like jokes.
Well, there
That
was
would be good.
There was something. So I was like goofing around and I was like, I don't know, write me an article about like, you know, why pet ownership is good for you or cat ownership and like use some scientific articles. And so then it like cited some studies, right? And, you know, used them in its little article. I was like, all right, then fine, have it do this. Like, I want to have it write an article in the style of like, I don't know, you know, Bon Appetit about having a pizza night with your cat. Come up with a recipe that's food or cat safe. And then, you know, and it did. Like, and then I double checked it. I searched all the ingredients. Like, are these ingredients okay for cats? And, you know, it made like a tuna pizza or whatever. I was like, all right, that's pretty decent.
That's the other problem with AI is that it will be confidently wrong.
It's like Thad.
Like Thad, yeah.
Thad and AI are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Like you're this wrong, but you're this confident. Like, oh no,
I don't like this.
Moves around and makes you right.
All right, I don't like this.
Yeah, neither do we.
This is called online bullying right now. And
it's we are online and we're bullying. So yeah, you're right.
Do you think check are comedians, you think, using AI to write jokes? Is that a thing?
Some need to be probably.
Like, there's got to be a hack out there that's like trying to do that.
Surely they are though. Like
I
that's
mean,
the thing. I think it'll be
real
really.
question.
I think it'll be really powerful for people who already know what they're doing. If you already can write jokes, then you can probably use that to accelerate your method.
Yeah.
If you're already good at art, you can probably use that to accelerate
how to
and do new
discern
things. Yeah.
what it's doing
even
that's
with
good and bad.
even with the art, like if you're doing it as a text-based like prompt sort of thing, then like knowing what pointillism is important, right? Knowing what the different art styles like that actually gives you the ability to do different things in there that. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely they will. I got a, those like Facebook images that like 60-year-old people share around. It has like a picture of a baby or something like that. I saw one of those that got shared on a thread with my parents, my father-in-law. And, it was definitely AI generated. And I don't think he knew that. But if you zoom in on it, the feet look weird. There's uncanny things about it. So AI stuff's already circulating around.
For sure, the deep fake.
Yeah. You're probably just not aware to what degree it is.
I say we do AI greeting cards for Christmas or different holidays. That's when I'm going to be starting. Sorry, fam, if you're watching this, it's a robot saying I love you, not me.
Hey, did you like the coffee today?
I love that coffee.
No way that was worse than down the throat. No way.
It was.
Man, I really needed something to get me awake after that 6 course.
Yeah, well, when you're falling asleep,
And it was that.
you're going to reach for the Tinker Coffee. And if you go and you want a coffee subscription, you can use promo code BRUNCH to get 25% off.
Hey.
Slides right down the throat.
Jesus. Slides right down the throat. 25% off.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, 25%.
Good deal.
That's actually a lot.
It's a fourth.
I like
It was. It's 2/8. I like to say.
It's significant.
Can you drop a beat for me? John Million, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Honored to be here. Thank you, guys.
Go ahead and get all your plugs out.
John Overton on Instagram, at John Overton, John with an H, at Planta Verde CBD, at Planta Verde Wellness, and that's really it. Thank you, Riley, too, for being here shooting.
I'm gonna be taking some wellness as soon as I get done with this podcast here. Zach, where can people find you and follow you on social media?
You can find me at Zach_Roan on all social media.
Daddy's Jake.
Hey guys, you can find me at Thad McKee on Instagram or Twitter. And also I'm doing AI eulogies. If you're too sad to write your own eulogy for a close one, I will be writing them for you via AI, which is not that hard. It'll only cost you $250 to go through me. If you want to do AI yourself, we'll figure it out yourself.
If you want to hear an example of these AI eulogies, check out our Patreon episode, patreon.com/brunch. /Harder Brunch. Only $3 you can support us, and we're just going to keep this party going.
Only $3. That's not that much.
You know what? It's less than Starbucks.
Yeah, it's less than a beer from Upland.
It's
Less than $4.
Yeah, it's less than $4.
substantial.
We're just saying less than things.
It's less than a whole bag of Tinker coffee.
Yeah, a fourth.
All right,
It's
I'm
less
done.
than the gross national debt. All right, let's end on a bomb. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.